Ladies, the remodeling industry is your candy store. Come take what's yours while the men act like babies and struggle with their egos.
Hello, this is the Hack Hour Podcast, a show where it's all about helping real, everyday, hard-working remodelers learn the secrets to having it all in life and business. And now, here's your host, Mike Minges.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Hack Hour Podcast. I'm Mike Minges, the founder of the Remodeling Academy and your guide to leveling up in the remodeling industry. Over the past decade, I've had the privilege of coaching countless remodeling businesses, and let me tell you, I've seen what works and what doesn't. Today, I want to dive into a topic that's been on my mind for some time. It's the untapped potential of women in the remodeling industry. Ladies, this is your time to shine, and I'm here to show you why and how you can dominate your local market like never before. And let's talk about why this matters. It's not just for women, but it's for the industry as a whole. Have you ever thought about how some of the most successful remodeling companies seem to have a secret weapon? Spoiler alert, it's often women. That's right. Ladies, this is your moment. Remodeling isn't just an industry you can survive in. It's one that you can absolutely dominate. And the competition, well, let's just say it is like taking candy from a baby. So grab your bags and let's start collecting. Here's the deal. Remodeling is ripe for disruption. Homeowners, more than ever, are craving trust, empathy, and professionalism, qualities that, let's be honest, many men in the industry are just struggling to consistently deliver. Why? Because a lot of men just refuse to seek help. They refuse adamantly to put systems in place, and they refuse to even admit that they don't know everything, right? It's a mindset problem, and that's where women can shine. Women are much more willing to listen, ask questions, and follow proven strategies. See, these aren't just nice to have traits. These are superpowers in a business world where connection and follow through wins every time. Some of you may not know, but right now, only about 13% of construction firms are owned by women. But that number has grown, believe it or not, 94% in just the last 17 years. And here's the kicker. 9% of these women-owned firms are pulling in over $500,000 annually. And if that doesn't scream opportunity, then I don't know what does. See, here's the unvarnished truth. Right? Many of the men in the remodeling businesses, they're their own worst enemies. Look, I have been coaching remodeling businesses for over a decade, and I see it time and time again. Men often just flat out, they refuse to seek help. They're afraid of looking weak. They're afraid of admitting that they don't have all the answers. They're terrified of change. Do you hear me? They're just afraid. They're scared. They're afraid. And it's a pattern. Pride, resistance, and then poor decisions just keep leading to more and more chaos. Meanwhile, half of these already struggling remodeling businesses today, right? They're not even going to be around in 5 years, ladies. Half of remodeling businesses today just don't make it. Why, you ask? Because many of the men in charge they refuse to see the writing on the wall and get help. Look, ladies, here is why this is your advantage, right? You just don't come with all the baggage of a fragile ego, right? You are much more likely to seek out help. You are much more likely to listen to advice, and you're way more likely to actually just follow through. As simple as all this sounds, these are the exact traits that make you better positioned to dominate this industry. The remodeling industry is just screaming. Homeowners so desperately want remodelers that can just follow through on the basics. Let me share a quick story. A few years ago, I had started to coach a husband and wife remodeling business. On the surface, it looked like the remodeling the man, right, was running this remodeling show. He was the one that initially called me. He was the one I initially met with. He was the one who was out in the field. He was the one that was managing a lot of his jobs. But it turned out that the reason that he came to me for help, it was the wife. She was the one who recognized their business needed systems and structure to grow, right? She managed the finances. She handled a lot of the client communication. And she was the one that was ensuring that these projects stayed on track. And she could see that the business was struggling. Under her guidance, right, and her communicating to her husband that he needed to make changes, the business went from struggling to starting to thrive. See, the glue that held it all together, it wasn't the guy swinging the hammer. It was the woman who could see that there were issues, and she stepped in and was willing to get help, knowing that they needed to make change so that they could get their machine to run smoothly. Now, what was interesting about this experience, and this has happened many times, is on the flip side, I have often been referred to help someone. And there's one gentleman I'm thinking of specifically that I was referred to, and literally what their friend had said was, look, this guy needs massive help immediately. He is struggling. And this was a 100% male-owned company. I spoke with the gentleman a couple times, extended the proverbial olive branch, and I could see this guy's issues from a mile away. And his problems could have been relatively easy to fix, and just given some time and some work on his end, right, he could have come out of the hole that he was literally digging himself daily. You probably already know the answer and where this story goes, right? This guy just resisted. He resisted the offer of help. He resisted the idea of needing help. He just resisted change altogether. He knew better, right? He didn't want to overcomplicate things. We don't need systems. I figure it out as I go, and that's my strength, right? He ran his business from the seat of his pants, and that had worked for him the first few jobs. But as anyone who's been in this game long enough knows, it's not a sustainable model. You need processes and systems. And the only process he had was he didn't have a process. Unfortunately, within about a year's time, he was out of business. And what was interesting was he even went on later to say he never saw it coming. It's like, how about that? Ladies, look, this is what you're up against. And by up against, I mean, this is your advantage. The remodeling landscape currently is littered with companies that are just poorly run flat out, right? Most of your competition literally will just self-sabotage because they're just too stubborn to get out of their own way. Now, homeowners, they want remodelers they can trust. Businesses in general, in most other industries, have leveled up over the last few years. And most businesses have gotten a lot better at just following, implementing procedures, returning phone calls, writing nice agreements that list out what's going to get done, right? Just some of the simplest and most basic of business practices that a lot of men in remodeling, it's still a foreign concept to them. See, it's now more than ever before, right? So look, a generation ago, yes, the average person may have struggled to accept the fact that a woman-owned remodeling business could be awesome. Today, though, that is not the case. Most homeowners have recognized that the average remodeling business is poorly run, and they are just as frustrated by this, right? Homeowners are desperately looking for a solution. They are looking for a remodeler that they can trust. They want someone who listens to their concerns, understands their vision, and just follows through on simple promises. And these are natural strengths for most women. So use them to your advantage. Women, be willing, right, to learn from those who have already succeeded. Women will take courses, right? You join coaching programs. You surround yourself with other experts, right? Women excel at all of this because they're just not afraid to ask for help or admit that they don't know everything. Trust me, this humility will set you apart and allow your remodeling business to stand out. And here's a pro tip, right? You'll be able to hire those men who could never get it together on their own and are burnt out and frustrated and just want to get back into the field and do work because they just, they couldn't get it. They couldn't make it work. These homeowners, they're too demanding, right? So let them do the physical labor while you run the business like the boss that you are. You'll have the best of both worlds. You'll have a skilled team and a thriving company that's built on solid systems and foundations, the things that you know how to do so easily. So picture this. Imagine a world where 30 to 50% of the successful remodeling companies are owned or co-owned by women. Homeowners finally have reliable, trustworthy remodelers to work with. The entire industry is elevated, and the days of the fly-by-night operations are disappearing. Ladies, look, this isn't just a dream. It's a future that's entirely within reach. The only thing standing between you and domination in this remodeling industry is your decision to step up and take what's yours. So look, if you've ever thought about starting a remodeling business, or if you're already in the game but you're looking to, level up some, now is the time. Look, the competition is stuck in their old ways, and the door is wide open for you to walk through and crush it. Remember, the candy's there for the taking, and the babies holding it aren't putting up much of a fight. If you've ever considered being the owner of your own business, I strongly encourage you to look into opening a remodeling business. It is not as hard to be successful as the guys make it out to be. And look, if you want some guidance, hey, we here at the Remodeling Academy are here. Our Renegade affiliate program gives all of the proper foundations to fuel your success as a remodeler. It is that easy. Ladies, I can't say this enough. The remodeling industry is ready for you. It needs you. Homeowners want you. And your competition, let's just say they've cleared a path and made this a game that is very easy for you to come in and win. So if you're ready to step up, I encourage you to get involved with programs like we have at the Remodeling Academy. We've helped countless other businesses. Many of them had a woman in a ownership role one way or another, and they thrive in the industry. If you're still on the fence, remember this: there's never been a better time to start, and the rewards are waiting for those who take action. This has been the Hack Hour Podcast, episode 15, and until next time, remember, listen, learn, and lead. This industry is yours for the taking.
Thank you for listening to the Hack Hour Podcast. It would be awesome if you would leave us a quick review on iTunes. To further your remodeling success, go to remodelingriches.com.